Hey everyone, welcome to the show, and we have a bit of a reaction video for you today because yesterday, maybe it was the day before yesterday, anyway, Dave Ramsey and his team decided to roast a fellow YouTuber, fellow TikToker, Daniel Isles. I've had him on the show before, very interesting guy, very successful in social media, talking about credit, business, etc. But anyway, they pulled apart one of his TikToks and were basically saying how the Dave Ramsey method of credit building is better than his, or not just credit building, but looking at credit, etc. So I thought we'd go through the video with you today, and I'll give my thoughts on it. And I'm going to start this by saying I think Dave Ramsey and his team are a little bit out of touch, and they really just religiously promote their own method, okay? That's what I'm going to start with. But let's look at the video, we'll check it out, and we'll basically react to it as we go, okay? And before we start, why not subscribe if you're new, hit that like button, but let's go.
I gotta talk about something, gotta get something off of my chest. So I'm a millennial, and so I keep up with the burgeoning social media trends that are out there.
Oh, right from the start, he's got to get something off his chest. He's letting us know he's a millennial, and that he does keep up with the social media trends, guys, all right? Don't think this guy is an old bag of bones. He's hip. He's cool. Let's keep watching.
And one of those is TikTok. I do it for you guys, so that I know what's going on out there, so I can fill you all in. And there's a lot...
The sacrifice he's making for you guys, huh? Keeping up with TikTok so he knows what's going on out there.
Of, how do I say this? Financial gurus out there who can't grow facial hair yet, and they are giving some terrible financial advice.
He had to go there, right? So Daniel Isles, I don't know, maybe he can grow a nice beard, I don't know, but he is clean shaven in his videos. So a little bit of a personal dig there, to be honest. Some big guy sitting in a studio, hitting the little guy hard, you know. It's a little bit unfair, but anyway, let's keep going.
I just have to get in the middle of the mess and walk everyone off the ledge because they're listening to 60-second videos and then making huge financial decisions because of it.
But who does that, though? Who makes a financial decision based off of one 60-second TikTok video, okay? I think that's totally over-the-top exaggeration of this. Yeah, sure, maybe you watch some finance content on TikTok, but if you're actually going to buy a house, you know, you're going to go through a whole mortgage application process. You're going to talk to lenders. You're going to talk to your agent, real estate agent. You know, you're not going to base it off of one TikTok video. So super exaggeration already.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a video that producer James found that made my blood boil. He really knows how to push my buttons. We're going to react to it, and then we're going to teach you guys a better way.
They're going to teach you guys a better way, okay? Because their way is just, you know, the best, all right?
When I'm 30, I want to be debt-free and own no credit cards. You know, you might regret that. What? How? Well, how are you planning on getting a house or a car? Yeah, I'm just going to use all cash. By chance, did Dave Ramsey teach you this? Yes. Why? That advice is for people who are already in...
I love how the guy just smirks as he's watching it, as if he's like, yep, you're making a mistake. Our way is the best. You're not following the Dave Ramsey religion. Bow down before Dave Ramsey.
Debt or don't know how to manage their money. The truth is, credit cards can help build your credit, which is very important. And if you pay them off in full, you'll never owe any interest. And with housing prices so high, good credits might be the only way most people are going to be able to get a house. Now that
to be honest, I think that's true. You know, the guy is smirking and you know, saying it's wrong, but it really is. Like, the only way someone can afford a house right now, who is on a, you know, medium to average income or low income, is to get a mortgage. Very few people are buying houses with cash.
Think about it. Saving up $400,000 in cash doesn't sound very reasonable. That advice might work for some, but personal finance should never be a one-size-fits-all. Follow to learn the truth.
Okay. Wow. That moves.
That follow to learn the truth thing really kind of it pushed its buttons.
So fast, I thought I was having a stroke for a second. All right, I don't want to have to watch that again, so let me recap it for you, because he was moving pretty fast.
I love how he's like, I don't want to have to watch that again, as if it was such a chore, such a sacrifice that we were forced to be subjected to that 60 seconds of TikTok video, all right?
He was saying that it is unwise to save up $400,000 cash to get a house, and that our advice is terrible. And on top of that, that you need to be building your credit score. You need to be opening that credit card, going into debt, staying in debt, paying it off all perfectly. So
you know, he kind of contradicts himself here because he says, oh, you need to be opening that credit card and going into debt and staying in debt. But then in the next sentence, he says paying it off all perfectly. So if you're paying it off perfectly, you're not going to be in debt.
So that you can build that beautiful FICO score. I'm here to tell you that he ended it with learn the truth. Follow to learn the truth. And the truth is that that is a lie.
So he criticizes Daniel for, follow to learn the truth. But then he says that he knows the truth. And the truth is that that is a lie. The truth is that Daniel is lying.
Here's why I know that's a lie, because I have purchased a house without a credit score, and I didn't save up $400,000 cash to do it. And what he's doing is he's playing into the FOMO that a lot of young people feel out there, where they go, man, the Dave Ramsey guy, he wants us to save up and pay cash for a house? That's insane. That'll take...
I think that is insane in this market. Let's have a look. Average house price in the US, it is, $374,000 is the average price. That's pretty high. And if you say California home prices on Zillow.com, average price is $756,000, which is insane, okay? So you're having to save up almost, $750,000 if you wanted to buy a house cash. Is that realistic that most people earning $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year could do that?
Let me tell you our actual advice when it comes to housing, just to make things clear. Yes, we don't want you to have any debt at all. The only type of debt that we won't yell at you for is a 15-year fixed rate mortgage where you can put 10 to 20% down.
15-year fixed rate mortgage. Now, there's a lot of problems with that for people who are on a medium or low income, okay? And let's have a look, okay? So let's look at a mortgage calculator. Let's have a look at my house, which was $245,000. And I bought it when I was on a pretty borderline income, okay? I think the first year I'd made like $36,000. The second year of tax returns I'd made like $80,000. So my average was really around $55,000. I had to do average of 2 years because I was self-employed. And so on a house of $45,000, I put down $49,000, I think it was. And on a 30-year fix, we were on a 4.5 interest rate, okay? So 4.5%, $1,614. Let's now drop that to 15-year fixed. And the interest rate would go down as well, I think, a little bit. So let's say that interest rate is 4%. Okay, $2,000 a month. So we're going from $1,619 a month to $2,077 a month, okay? We're talking about $550 more you'd have to pay per month.
And the payment ends up being no more than a quarter of your take-home pay.
It can be no more than 1/4 of your take-home pay, according to them. That means you'd have to be earning $8,000 a month, all right? Now, for people earning $50,000 to $60,000 a year, this sort of average household income, that's way more than they earn, okay? $8,000 a month. They would not be able to afford to do this, okay? They would not be. They would be waiting. If I, several years ago, when I was earning a much lower salary than I am now, if I had waited and maybe I was only just buying a house now, I would be in a far worse off situation. I bought my house for $245,000. That house has appreciated so much in value. I've got over $100,000 in equity now in the house. If I had instead insisted on doing a 15-year mortgage, I would actually be much worse off. I wouldn't have that $100,000 in equity. Yeah, sure, I might have a larger down payment, a little bit, but I would be buying in a market that had appreciated a lot. Interest rates are starting to go up now, and there's inflation as well. So don't forget, the original price I'm paying, the amount I'm paying each month, I'm inflating out of it anyway. As we have inflation in home prices, the amount of money I'm earning is going up with inflation, hopefully. And so the amount of money I'm paying each month is actually kind of going down in real terms. So really getting on the housing ladder early, in my opinion, is actually a lot better.
That's exactly what I did, me and my wife. In fact, we put more than 20% down because we didn't want to be in debt any longer than we had to. And so we sacrificed, we did side jobs, we hustled for a long period of time in order to put that much down. And then we ended up paying off the house in 26 months.
While they were doing that, hustling, doing side jobs, waiting to buy their house, what were they doing? They were renting, which means that they were paying money each month. So personally, I want to have a good life. I don't want to have to hustle and do side jobs. I did that when I was first starting my business. I was an Uber driver. I worked at Trader Joe's in the evening, and I ran a business. And for a period of time, I had a 9-to-5 in Manhattan. And it's not that fun, And to be honest, I'm fine with paying a monthly payment, because if I didn't own a house, I'd be renting and I'd be paying a monthly payment anyway.
And we did our debt-free scream just a few months back. and it was incredible.
Debt-free scream. What is that? Never heard of that before. Dave Ramsey debt-free scream. Oh, look at this. Schedule your debt-free scream with Dave Ramsey. Look at this. Are you debt-free? Congratulations. We get a lot of debt-free scream requests. Wow. You can put your name in and then you can schedule a debt-free scream and you can actually visit his lobby of his show and I guess you scream. Wow. That's pretty cool. Yeah, moving on.
And so you've all heard that you want to have, 750, 800, 850 perfect credit score in order to go into debt. That's all it is. It's an I love debt score. It's playing kissy face with the bank. And too many young people are learning this, and guess who?
An I love debt score, really? I don't think that at all. It's a tool because in this world, you're going to end up paying a lot of money in deposits for things, even a cell phone plan, a utility bill, whatever. You have to pay a deposit if you don't have a credit score. You could have to pay a few $100 out of pocket. So having a credit score takes no time. Just get a card, put it on auto pay, make sure it's paid back each month. You'll build up a credit score. Easy. Don't even have to think about it.
Well, why? So you can get a car loan, so you can get a massive mortgage with nothing down. Here's what a credit score is made up of. 35% debt history, 30% current debt level.
It's funny because he says 30% debt history. Well, that's normally called payment history. He's actually changed the name to fit the joke that he's going to make in a moment. 35% payment history, not debt history. 30%, okay, amounts owed. I guess you could use the word debt to refer to that. Let's see what he says next.
15%, how long you've been in debt. 10%, any new debt. 10%, type of debt.
So normally this is called, how long you've been in debt is called credit history, okay? Then you've got 15% new credit and types of credit, not types of debt. He's changed it on purpose.
Are you hearing a theme? Debt. That's
yes,
right.
We're hearing your theme because you've changed the words to fit your example, okay?
So, you don't need a credit score to buy a car because we're going to pay cash for cars. I've done it multiple times. It's amazing.
That is kind of ridiculous. So I have paid cash for a car in the past. I paid $17,000 for my old Ford Fusion. Lovely car. The only thing was, though, I got the money from an inheritance. And at the time, I was earning a very average salary. There's no way I would have been able to save up $17,000. And that was even just a second-hand car.
You don't need to use credit cards to build your score because we're paying cash for things with our debit card and we're budgeting.
We're paying cash for things, but where's the cash coming from, you know? Like we saw in that example earlier, you'd need $8,000 a month in income to be able to get the kind of mortgage he is encouraging you to get, all right? Otherwise, you just have to stay renting for ages. And where are we going to get the cash to pay for our car? You know, where's it going to come from? He's really not giving you the answers to this.
You don't need it to rent a house or an apartment. And I've called all over.
To be honest, in my personal experience, you really do need it to rent a house or an apartment. So the first apartment I rented, they asked me for 3 months rent up front. And then they also asked me for 3 months rent as a security deposit. So that's 6 months rent I had to give them up front.
And then finally, the big one, you don't need it to buy a house. And our friends at Churchill Mortgage do this every day.
That's funny, right? You don't need it to buy a house. And our friends at Churchill Mortgage, link below, use code Dave Ramsey. We get a $2,000 commission off of that or whatever, right?
It's called manual underwriting or a no-score loan. And they do it like they did back in the old days.
Yeah, it's true that they can do that. Okay, you can do manual underwriting. It just makes it a little bit more complicated to do. You've got to look for a mortgage company to do it. So obviously this Churchill Mortgage or whatever, they do it. But what's the point when the credit score is doing automatic underwriting anyway?
They just look at your actual financial picture. They look at pay stubs, your W-2s, do you pay your utility bills, that kind of thing. And they go, okay, well, based on your situation, we're happy to give you a loan because we know you're going to pay it back.
Which is the same thing that they do if you had a credit score, just probably a little bit more quick and efficiently.
And so that's what we did. And most people are shocked by this. I did a media hit for a news station.
I'm not shocked at all. I think it just sounds like a more difficult way to do it than if you just built your credit score and controlled your spending so you didn't get into debt.
Over in Chicago, and they were just flabbergasted that someone could even buy a house without a credit score. And so we need to start dispelling these myths. And parents,
I love how he said they were flabbergasted that someone could buy a house without a credit score. I mean, of course you can buy cash for a house, you know, if you have the cash, and buy it without a credit score.
you got to stop telling your kids this. And TikTokers, you got to stop spreading this misinformation.
How is it misinformation? It's a commonly held belief by many, many people that, you know, improving your credit score can get you, you know, the best interest rates on a house. It can. If you have a credit score over 740 or sometimes 760, depending on the lender and the type of loan, you will be offered the best interest rate, better than anyone else. And it could save you literally thousands of dollars a month.
And the comments are all very thankful, and they're all going, yeah, that Dave Ramsey guy, man, what a scam artist. Because he tells you to get out of debt.
I think really what this comes down to is they're just annoyed that people have made videos criticizing the Dave Ramsey method, and basically they're just hitting back at a competitor. Because the Dave Ramsey show, it's kind of old school. It's not really that hip and slick these days. People call into it on the phone. Remember phones? Probably like old dial telephones they call into this show on. Anyway, and you know, he's a millennial. He's not Generation Z, and he's a pretty old millennial at that, all right? He looks like close to 40. And, you know, it's I think they're really just hitting back at a competitor.
So, TikTok at your own risk. I'm not telling you to go there. I'm just telling you, if you want some entertainment or you want to get angry, it's a fun place to be.
If you want some entertainment or you want to get angry, it's a fun place to be. So, yeah, like I said, I think what this comes down to is them just trying to protect their own method. But I think where they're kind of wrong here is that there's not, like Daniel said in his TikTok, there's not a one-size-fits-all strategy. The Dave Ramsey method may be a great method for certain people who are in debt, but it's not one-size-fits-all, because guess what? Some people can control themselves with credit cards and with debt. You know, I've got like 15 credit cards, and I actually don't have credit card debt, okay? Like my credit cards report balances each month, but I pay them off, all right? I'm not carrying a balance and paying interest on it and ruining my life through it. It's actually under control, and I'm earning points, and I can use those points for free flights or for cashback or whatever. So it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all. If you are in debt, do check out Dave Ramsey's show. I think, you know, he really may be able to help you get out of debt, improve your situation. If you're someone who's really good with controlling their spending and is very confident that they won't get into debt, follow my show or go and follow Daniel Isles. But let's not, you know, trash each other back and forth, because, you know, I think he was very over the top about TikTok, about Daniel calling it misinformation, calling it, if you want to get angry, it's a good place to be, etc. So that's my appraisal of this recent rant from Dave Ramsey's his right-hand man, one of his hosts. Nice video. I'll link it in the description. I'll also link Daniel's channel that you can go and subscribe to if you want to check out his stuff as well. Please subscribe to me if you're new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.